Welcome to Chris's Storytelling Corner. This is Christopher Moldong of Chris's Storytelling Corner. Today I'm going to do a manga review for Kobato Volumes 3 and 4. Next time I'll have a manga review for Kobato Volumes 5 and 6, which will end the series. A list of top villain pairs in the Batman universe. A movie review for the Filipino movie Kita Kita. And in a few weeks, a movie review of Batman and Harley Quinn. You can check out my author's website at www.chrismoldong.com. You can buy my first novel, a fantasy adventure called The Monster Prince in the Condiment Kingdom, for $4.99. Also for $2.99, you can buy my short story collection, a collection of 10 short stories in the horror, fantasy, and realistic fiction genres. Check out my Twitter page and author's Facebook page. Links to all these will be provided on the description. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment to this channel if you're on YouTube, or follow, share, and comment on this channel if you're listening to this on SoundCloud. If you're listening to this on iTunes or Stitcher, please rate, review, and share this channel. So the way that this is going to work is I'm going to give a recap of Kobato Volume 3, then give my thoughts on the volume, and do the same for Volume 4. So let's get started with Kobato Volume 3. The volume begins with Kobato talking with the loan shark over the phone. He tells her that he didn't change the dates on the posters for the bazaar, and Kobato apologizes to him. He asks Kobato if she gave Sayaka his message, and Kobato says that she did not and will not. Ioryogi leaves and runs into Ginsei. They fight, and Ginsei asks him why he doesn't go back to his true form. Ioryogi tells him that he doesn't want to and that he wasn't going back, not until he sees this through. Ginsei runs off when people come their direction. Back with Kobato, she gathers leaves for the students as Sayaka tells her that she won't be able to buy playground equipment. They talk about how Fujimoto has to work a lot. Sayaka comments that maybe it would be better if she simply gave up. Back at the apartment in the hallway, Kobato finds Fujimoto passed out on the ground. When he wakes up, she tells him that the loan shark contacted the kindergarten, and he tells her that she's dealing with Yakuza and to steer clear. Fujimoto gives Kobato his cell phone number. He then goes to another job. Ioryogi suggests that Fujimoto works all those jobs to help pay for their debt on the kindergarten, but Kobato wonders if she can heal Sayaka's heart. Next morning, Chitose asks Kobato if she wants tea, and she obliges. Kobato talks to Chitose about Yomogi Kindergarten, and she tells her that she wants to be able to help Sayaka. Chitose thanks Kobato, and a wounded heart appears in the bottle. Chitose asks if the person who rang the kindergarten was Okiura. Kobato says that he was. Chitose says that she knows him and that he is Sayaka's ex-husband. It's revealed that Sayaka and the loan shark have not officially filed for divorce. Chitose tells her that she thinks that Sayaka is trying to make the loan shark realize. What that is, I don't know. Later, Kobato runs into Fujimoto, who is giving away balloons for a job in an Usagi costume. If you read Wish, you know what an Usagi is. He gives her a balloon. So at a park, Ioryogi leaves to see a guy he knows that's an old acquaintance. Kobato discovers that Fujimoto gave her throat lozenges. Ioryogi goes to the Bear's Baumkuchen shop. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm just going to call it Baumkuchen. A bear making Baumkuchen is inside and knows Ioryogi. The bear reveals that Usagi can only be seen by unusual humans, like that girl that Ioryogi is always with. Ioryogi tells the bear that he wants him to look into something for him, and he wants to know everything about the people related to and the current situation of Yomogi Kindergarten. They briefly talked about Ginsei. The bear agrees to look into it because he asks nicely. Kobato finds one of the Yakuza that grabbed her hair on the ground in pain. Kobato then calls Fujimoto to help. Back with Ioryogi, he leaves with a present, which is in a gift box. The bear tells him that he'd better not be planning on causing trouble again. Back with Kobato, Fujimoto runs to where Kobato is, and she's crying. She's worried that the person could die, and holds Fujimoto. He calls for an ambulance. At the hospital, Fujimoto tells Kobato that the Yakuza had appendicitis, and he won't die from it. But Kobato says that people can die from the slightest, littlest things. Ioryogi, with the gift box, looks for Kobato but runs into Ginsei, who then attacks Ioryogi. Ginsei then asks, "You said there was something you had to do, right? When that's over, are you going back to Tenkai, the heavenly world?" Ioryogi launches fire at Ginsei, and Ginsei asks again if he'll return to the heavenly world after he's done with the girl child. Ginsei then tells Ioryogi that the girl child went to the hospital with a fellow. Back with Kobato, Fujimoto takes Kobato home, and Ioryogi returns. Kobato asks if she can heal Fujimoto's heart. Ioryogi tells her that's why she has to do her best for that very purpose. The next day, Kobato goes to Yomogi Kindergarten with Ioryogi. Kobato and Ioryogi, though, get separated. A bird, who is an underling of the bear, speaks to Ioryogi. The bird introduces himself as Zuisho from Genko-sama's place. So the bear's name is Genko. Zuisho tells Ioryogi that Genko has finished investigating the case he requested. Some of the students hear the two talking, so Ioryogi tells Zuisho to transport him away. Kobato sees Fujimoto at the kindergarten, and she thanks him for yesterday. Zuisho gives Ioryogi the message. The present owner and school principal of Yomogi Kindergarten is Sayaka Okiura. The previous owner and principal was her father, who was a nice guy. He took in Fujimoto when he was an orphan. Sayaka's father was scammed when some bad guys approached him claiming to represent a charity. He used the land on which the kindergarten is situated as collateral as a loan. Sayaka's father was the fall guy for repayment for the entire loan. He got so in debt that selling the land wouldn't repay the loan. The charity guys were fronting for the Yakuza. Sayaka's father died by illness 2 years ago, and then Sayaka inherited the business. She was married, then divorced. The loan shark was the one who tricked Sayaka's father into taking on all the debt. At the kindergarten, Kobato is worn out. Fujimoto tells Kobato that she's in charge of afternoon nap time. He asks if she's in charge of naps too. He then challenges her to get the students all to sleep. But Kobato wonders if Fujimoto noticed if she was worn out and suggested that she be in charge of naps to get some rest herself. Sayaka gets a phone call. It turns out that one of her students won't be attending there anymore. That's the third one to leave this month. It's revealed that Fujimoto is taking time off from the university. Fujimoto walks away and says, "Just when I thought someday you were swept off by the likes of that bastard Okiura." At the end of the volume, Kobato notices that Ioryogi is gone and calls out to him. So some thoughts on Volume 3. A little more, we didn't really figure too much more about the loan shark, Okiura, per se. We know that he's Ayaka's ex-husband, but we also know that they're not divorced. That's suspicious in itself. You know, why are they not divorced? Does she know, like, that Okiura is the one that tricked her dad? It seems like she might. And if she does know, why is she still, like, Why is they not officially divorced? Loan Shark's kind of strange. Like he's just a surprisingly nice guy. Um, so you know, the fact of the matter is, there's something more going on here. We just don't know what it is. The guy's a little, unless he's just some good actor or something like that. He's just a little too nice. The fact that he's still technically married. They're like separated, not really divorced per se. They're not officially divorced, so there's something going on here. Um, we don't quite know about yet. Fujimoto just doing his thing. He's got all these jobs. He's trying to help Yomogi Kindergarten get out of debt. And he's even putting his university on hiatus to do so. Obviously, we know that he's Sayaka's got to be close to family at this point because apparently Sayaka's father took in Fujimoto. So I can see why he wants to do something like that. Um, but he, he's really wearing himself out doing so. Um, he's a guy that seems to not be making much progress with anything. You know what I mean? He works so hard, and the fruits of his labor are really unseen in a sense. It seems like he has a thing for Sayaka, judging from what he said. Um, he's got a really interesting thing going on with Kobato at this point too. Um, they seemingly they have this weird because he gave her his cell phone number. They have this weird friendship. Uh, it's not really hate, but like annoyance thing going on. I don't know if more is gonna grow from it. Possibly. We're also introduced to. It's kind of funny because they have this story going on with Kobato, Fujimoto, Sayaka, and Okiura. But then they have this other story that seems so separate from that story going on with the stuffed animals and whatnot. Ginsei, Zuisho, Genko, and Ioryogi. They're kind of connected. Genko seems like the reasonable guy of the group, I suppose. While Ginsei is kind of the hothead, and so is Ioryogi. Genko, though, definitely has all this information, and Zuisho seems to be like the comic relief, the messenger, the comic relief, the clown character. So everyone's kind of got the roles going on. Um, Genko, though, it seems to be a man of intelligence and a man or a bear of intelligence and a bear able to get intelligence as well and information. The information that was that Ioryogi was looking for was pretty interesting, with Sayaka's dad, Okiura, Fujimoto's kind of in there. I don't know if these two worlds will necessarily meet. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if Genko is gonna meet with Fujimoto. It seems like they have their own thing, but there is some form of connection here. We don't really, we don't really know the extent of the relationship between Ioryogi and Genko, for example. There's a lot of hints, especially with Gensei and Ioryogi. We don't quite know what's going on. How are they? Why are they in these forms? And what's Ioryogi's role in this? And how does Kobato fit into that as well? So guess we'll find out in following volumes. So let's go with volume 4. Volume begins with Zuisho transporting Ioryogi. Ioryogi tells Zuisho that he's to come whenever he calls from whenever he calls from now on. Zuisho drops Ioryogi, but Usagi catches him. Usagi shoots something at Ioryogi and he says, "There's a time limit, you say." He's told that before 2 more seasons pass, she's gotta fill up the whole bottle. If Kobato doesn't, she won't get her wish fulfilled for all eternity. Kobato runs into Okiura. He asks how she knows his name. He asks, and she tells him that she asked her apartment manager. Okiura reveals that Chitose and him were childhood friends. Fujimoto appears. So back with Ioryogi, Usagi leaves, but Ioryogi stops him. He makes a flame and asks Usagi to deliver it to him, who's God. Usagi does not oblige until Ioryogi says please. To Zuisho's surprise, Usagi takes the flame. Back with Fujimoto. Fujimoto tries to attack Okiura, but Okiura grabs his arm and does a standing arm lock on him. Kobato intervenes and asks to let him go. She tells Okiura that Fujimoto does part-time jobs and even fell asleep in the hallway. Despite that, he always comes to help at the kindergarten. Fujimoto says that he's never gonna do anything that makes Sayaka cry. Okiura tells him that he should tell Sayaka to hurry up and convince her to move away. Okiura releases Fujimoto and Fujimoto tries to punch him. Kobato gets between them. She then says, "Still, you mustn't hit him. I am sure it would hurt Okiura-san, but it would hurt you too, Fujimoto-san." And for me, that is just so much. Then we see a W and a slash. I don't know what that is. Kobato then gets confused as to what she was going to say. Okiura leaves and drops his cigarette. Kobato picks it up, but Fujimoto grabs her hand and hurts his fingers. Kobato pretty much overreacts and Fujimoto calls her out on it. She then says, "I am not overreacting because it's you, Fujimoto-san. And then stops there. Back at her apartment, Kobato thinks about the events of the day and starts singing. Zuisho takes Ioryogi home. They hear Kobato sing, and Zuisho comments that her voice sounds like the angel Kohaku. Read Wish. Honestly, before reading Kobato, read Wish. It's only 4 volumes long. It's fun. And these characters, and kind of Usagi and whatnot, play a role in Kobato. Ginsei then visits Genko's shop. Ginsei mentions that in the old days, Ioryogi's name was Ioryogi, without the Y. Ioryogi. Genko says to Ginsei that he gave him a name and took him in. Zuisho comes by. He tells them that Usagi came to visit. Ginsei demands him what God came to say. Ioryogi comes back to where Kobato is. He tells her, "You don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but if you get to feeling like you want to, then tell me." Kobato tells Ioryogi about her thoughts of Fujimoto getting hurt. While she's asleep, Ioryogi says that the more wishes you have, the more you stray off of your path. Elsewhere, Ginsei says that if that little girl's wish doesn't come true, you'll never be able to go back to Ioryogi. The next morning, Kobato rushes to work and sees Fujimoto. Kobato trips and someone catches her. Fujimoto sees the two and walks away. The person seems to know Fujimoto and even calls him Kiyokazu. So he calls him by the first name, and in Japan that shows very strong familiarity, friendship, or something else, or other type of closeness. The person introduces himself as Takashi Domoto. He goes to the same college as Fujimoto. Domoto reveals that he's known Fujimoto since middle school. They have the same major in college, which is law. He then says that he helps out on occasion at Yomogi Kindergarten. He says that Fujimoto used to laugh his share, especially when he was with Sayaka. Kobato reacts to that. Kobato tells Demoto that she's helping out at Yomogi Kindergarten. He's surprised that Fujimoto allowed that and hasn't chased her away. He reveals that Fujimoto is the type of guy where if he doesn't like you, he just ignores you. Domoto tells Kobato that he'd like to ask her questions about Fujimoto and that Fujimoto tends to avoid him. Kobato tells him that Fujimoto works all sorts of part-time jobs. Domoto says that he wants to save Sayaka. Kobato reacts again. Domoto apologizes for holding her up and she leaves. Kobato wonders why she has a pain in her chest. Ioryogi says that this could become a full-scale disaster soon. Back with Genko. Genko makes some Bamkuchen, and Ginsei is helping out. Genko tells him that until Ioryogi makes his move, you can't make any moves either. He says that to Ginsei. It's revealed that Ioryogi is nobility of the other world, and Genko is also nobility. Ginsei asks Genko if he's going to bake Bamkuchen his whole life. He says, of course I'm not. Genko mentions that there are rare humans that know of the other worlds. In the heavenly world, there are angels who serve God. In the netherworld, there are the demons who serve Demon King. In the other world, they serve the king and the lawmaker. That's also explained. Well, I don't know about the other world, I forgot, but Heavenly World and Demon World are both, or Netherworld are both a big part of Wish. A basic rule of each world is inviolability. In the other world, the bridge that spans the gap from it to the heavenly world and the netherworld appears once every 12 years. Ioryogi started a war with the heavenly world. The one thing that Ioryogi wants, no matter what, is in the heavenly world, but he didn't manage to get it. Ioryogi and his people lost in the end as punishment for breaking the inviolability law. Ioryogi is a stuffed animal, Genko is a bear, and Ginsei is... I don't actually know what he is, he's just something else. Like a fox bunny thingy. Even those that played minor roles in it were punished to fit their crimes, like Zuisho. Ioryogi has to be a helper to a little girl. Until that girl's wish is fulfilled, he's going to say Ioryogi, and in that form, and stay in the stuffed animal form, and they can't go back to the other world. Back with Kobato. Kobato bumps into a woman while she was walking. They sit with each other, and Kobato asks if something's worrying her. She says that there is a bit. Kobato asks if there's anything she can do to help. She asks Kobato to come with her to go get her a divorce. Back in the kindergarten, Sayaka and Fujimoto sweep, but Fujimoto is clearly out of sorts. Sayaka talks about their childhood and his share of out of it moments. Fujimoto says that he was abandoned here. Sayaka says that he came here, and her father and Sayaka were so happy he did. Sayaka figures out that he's thinking about Kobato. Fujimoto mentions that Domoto was there in front of his apartment. Sayaka tells Fujimoto that she can handle the kindergarten all by herself and brings up college. Fujimoto tells her that it was his own decision to take time off. After Yomogi Kindergarten gets out of its present situation, he'll consider college. Fujimoto asks Sayaka if she'll ever go back to her maiden name. She supposes that she really must do it now. Back with Kobato, she asks about the divorce. The woman wants to be with her husband but can't be with him. He found somebody else. Kobato cries for her, and the woman says that it's nice to have somebody cry for her. She hugs Kobato. A wounded heart ends up in the bottle. Ginsei continues helping out in Genko's Bamkuchen shop. The angel Kohaku stops by and wants to get something for Shuichiro-san. She orders some Bamkuchen. Ginsei asks if it's alright for an angel to be in an otherworlder's shop. Kohaku tells him that she can't return to the heavenly world. Ginsei asks if it's God's punishment or something. She tells him the punishment ended a long time ago, but she wants to be by Shuichiro's side. She reveals that she's been forced apart with Shuichiro 5 times so far because humans only live for 100 years at best. Ginsei asks that when they're reborn, don't they come out different? Kohaku is always nervous when she meets Shuichiro again because she's meeting him for the first time. Ginsei doesn't get it. Back with Kobato, she thinks about changing feelings. At the end of the volume, Kobato sees Fujimoto at the kindergarten and she says, "Turn into love?" So some thoughts on volume 4. Ushagi's message. What can you say? She's got a time limit now. 2 seasons. There is a consequence if this, if Kobato's wish is not fulfilled. We also don't actually know. We know that Kobato wants to go somewhere, but we actually don't know where that is. And any of the other details of this wish. We just know that she must do it. We got introduced to some characters here. Domoto seems like a good guy. Don't know too much about him. Doesn't seem evil. Just seems like Fujimoto's buddy. I don't know what role he's going to play later on, but they used to be classmates. He seems to be cordial with Kobato. We'll see how he plays into the story moving forward. Speaking of Kobato and Fujimoto, what can you say? I mean, end of the volume, turn into love, changing feelings. I mean, I don't know what... And Fujimoto's like totally thinking about Kobato. Kobato's totally thinking about Fujimoto. I mean, like, it was kind of obvious early on, but it's very apparent now. This is turning into a love story. And a love triangle, too. No. Quadrangle, right? Love square, if you will, because Fujimoto seemingly loves Sayaka. Sayaka was with the, hasn't changed her maiden name with Okiura. And then Kobato presumably is in love with Fujimoto. So, we'll see where that goes. The two are there for each other a lot, that's for sure. He's there for her. She came a calling about that one Yakuza guy. And, he came right there. He thinks about her. She's always working hard. He doesn't ignore her. And, yeah, we'll see how that goes. So like I said, we're introduced to Kohaku. She's from Wish, the main character of Wish, along with someone she keeps referencing, Shuichiro-san. I've read Wish. It was it's good, clamp story. It's interesting though because Wish spoiler right here. Like, I haven't read Wish in years, by the way, but from what I remember, she meets Shuichiro. I forgot why she likes him. I think there's like some deeper story there. It's not just like an accident. And then like I think he dies. Yeah, I think he dies. And then he gets reincarnated, and we see the second. At the end of Wish, we see the second Shuichiro, who's a lot younger, and Kohaku. So that also goes to show a lot of time has passed between Wish and Kobato. But they're obviously within the same world and have a lot to do with each other. When Kohaku seems to be a major character in here. Um, Very interesting because once again she went to the Baumkuchen shop. So is she gonna meet with Ioryogi? Is she going to meet with Kobato? Or is she separate from the whole kindergarten thing that's gonna happen? Um, we shall see. Ginsei has seemingly taken an interest in Kohaku. I don't know what it is. He's such a hothead, but you ask her questions and whatnot, and seems at the very least intrigued by what she's saying or something to that nature. Um, Interesting that Ginsei is just kind of working there under Genko. Genko's just kind of doing his thing with the Baumkuchen shop. But he did mention something really interesting, and that's we got to know a little bit more about Ioryogi. Genko is pretty much the one relaying that information. He as Ioryogi, he fought with the heavenly world, and they lost, they got punished, and whatnot. We don't actually know why he did it. I guess Ioryogi wanted something from the heavenly world. We don't know quite yet what that is. But everyone paid a price because of that act. And I guess in the end, in order to undo this, it does go back to Kobato, where it's like, okay, her wish has to be fulfilled in order to undo the punishment that's been done to all these people. Otherwise, we got 2 more volumes. We'll kind of see how this story intertwines in a sense, because we don't really know what Ioryogi was doing to. What did he want in the heavenly world? We're just kind of seeing the tie-in now of how their side, these heavenly, otherworldly creatures, are hanging out with Kobato, but Kobato's still a mystery. How does she even talk to Ioryogi? Like, that's kind of strange. We don't even know what's up with her hat. In the very beginning, you know, she wasn't supposed to lose her like headpiece, which was like this weird like hat thingy. It looks like headgear, really. So we don't really know much about Kobato quite yet. Hopefully, we'll get to seeing how everything ties in. Like, why is Kobato the chosen? The quote unquote chosen one here. It doesn't really make sense yet. We got angels, otherworldly creatures, kind of a part of this, and we don't really know why. And then there's this whole thing going on with the kindergarten. So there's a couple moving pieces here. Let's see how it all connects in the last 2 volumes. And but for now, we're still slowly but surely getting answers. So that's all for today. If you like this, don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment to this channel if you're on YouTube, or follow, share, and comment on this channel if you're listening to this on SoundCloud. If you're listening to this on iTunes or Stitcher, please rate, review, and share this channel. Thank you for listening to this manga review. Next time, I will have a manga review for Kobato Volumes 5 and 6, which will end that series. A list of the top villain pairs in the Batman universe. A movie review for the Filipino movie Kita Kita. And in a few weeks, a movie review for Batman and Harley Quinn. Thank you, and until next time.